So today we're going to go through the drafts that you have created. We're going to do some editing. We're going to talk through how to improve your email content. We always for sure want to make sure your logo is in there. I threw in your Deviate logo, which you might have a higher quality, higher resolution one that you can use. Personally, I like to decrease this to as low as possible because it reduces the space that's here. So you can see there's a lot of space even still, and we want to get people as close to the shop now as possible. As far as a date, no, everyone can see the date. I don't feel that's necessarily relevant to any email really, comparative to basically any other space that we're going to talk about. I would talk about, spring season 2023, pre-sale, limited edition run, something that has some sort of urgency. So limited edition, right? Especially if you have the outfits, you're going to want to make sure that have the outfit numbers in the back end of Shopify, just to clarify that. You're going to want to make sure you have a link to the outfits themselves. I would almost reduce these and add a few more images. Make sure that if you have a hypothesis of what's going to be a good product listing, that you select it here. Otherwise, you can set the product listing to randomly select. So you could pick both, but if you think there's specific, like if this is your hottest design you feel the best about, then I would definitely put in some ones some different products you believe are going to go best with that as follow-up. So that might be the pants, right? Something like that. Those were just kind of my thoughts. And obviously I would do 2 columns or 3. I wouldn't do 1. And then I would do instead of the side by side, it's going to automatically adjust that for mobile. But I would have that there. If you, instead of having this in between, I would almost put that up with the shop looks straight from New York Fashion Run Week. I know it creates a little bit more space between the shop now, but if you see shop now and part of the image are all visible, this keeps the items big. And then right down here, I would talk about your sustainability program. I think that's a huge highlight right now that needs to be explained a little bit more. How are you selecting fabrics that are more sustainable? How are you making sure that your supply chain is more sustainable? Talk about the work that you're really putting in that makes this brand very unique to the market. So that's what I would put here. And then make sure that your icons are linking properly. Check all these links. Generically, these come in are not similar. And then I would split test this. I would have one where your subscribers who have purchased in the past are getting a special notification and maybe a discount code for ordering. And then I would have or like you could do an informational one and then a follow-up with the discount code like you have here. But those are kind of some of the changes I would make immediately. Now, In this, I understand the desire for the menu, but I would make these not not linking to the blog because you're focused on the coupon. Um, I would make these focused since this is like a website menu. I would make these focused on the product from the spring line that you believe are going to do the best, and um, and then I like how you follow up here with the sustainability, right? Which could tie back in better to the first email. Um, and then your automations for people who have abandoned cart are automatically going to pop up. But what I would do is I would start segmenting people who previously engaged. So from your audience, you're going to send out a large generic email um, about the spring collection, or you're going to segment and send one generically to all the audience and subtract out the people who have purchased in the past, right? So that might be 300, that might be 500 of the email subscribers. You're going to only do people who have purchased in the past, and um, at least one time in total, right? And past purchasers. I would create more of these pre-built segments for yourself so that you have a clear understanding of who in your list has a different value for you, and who in your list, like we saw right now, this has 190 who have past purchased from you. Are we missing Shopify orders? Right? Are there people we need to import that did not come in and you actually have more orders? Things like that are questions that you'll go through when you're building out the segments. You could even split test as far as segments go. You can create segments that are related to gender, right? So a female versus a male email. And that allows you to shift the products that you're going to focus on. You can go and shift as far as physical address, out of state versus in state. You might do free pickup, right? For people who are ordering, stuff like that, right? You might target people who have partially done a refund and offer them a better discount, or try and do something that makes them feel special for whatever reason they had to partially refund in the past. There's just a lot of options right now, including canceled orders, messages sent. There's a lot of options for you to start engaging with these audience and make sure that you increase the open rate and the engagement of the emails. Because if on the 190 who have past purchased, you get up to a 70 or 80% open rate, and let's say a 30 or 50% click-through rate, you're going to see more traffic to the site, you're going to see more sales, and you're not going to bother people. You're not going to be bothering any of the segments with things that are a little too generic, right? So just think about it from that perspective, I guess. And then we want to make sure that if there are products that you and Kelsey have discussed, we talk about back in stock products and getting emails going out for that, and focus on editing your welcome series. So I sent you kind of a elongated welcome series that gives you options for video introductions of both you and Kelsey, more information about the brand, maybe highlighting people on your team that are actually hand knitting with you and creating the product. Bring people along for the journey, right, is really what the welcome series is. And it's to elongate and provide value in your touch points. So in a welcome series, we all know that people get a tear, or they get, something gets worn out, right, in a specific spot on your clothes. For me, or for different people, it's in different spots. or just something comes up, right? And so explaining how to go through and that how easy the fixing process is, and doing that in your welcome series might be something that you do just to help add value that someone who has that is thinking about buying is getting, or that could be a touch point. If we go back in your series options, there's a re-engagement flow that you can do. And so in the new flow, we would go to I would definitely create the product review. I'll do that after this. But there is one for customer reactivation. These workflows to re-engage your customers is a great place to have something like that, right? Where you're trying to add value and then ask for another order. So we definitely want to look at some of these things. We want to edit them. We want to add content, maybe add an image, and start creating the split test, right? It's as easy as dragging and dropping in here. And then what is A going to get versus what is B going to get, right? So you clone this, you create an A, you create a B. The first thing I always test is subject line. Subject line tells me right away, haven't heard from you, or it could be we miss you. We could be product information about your past order. You're going to test those titles to see how that's working out. And you can always Google best customer re-engagement email subject lines. And this will give you a variety. A lot of times there's one of these that'll have high converting re-engagement email examples. Some of them will have 60 different examples for you, and you just run through them until you get enough thousands of people that have opened both where it makes the most sense. So I'm going to go to your goals of re-engagement newsletter. No new concept, final deal, right? And this is where I talked about talking about the sustainability. How do people handle if something tears or they need a repair? That reinforces your brand reputation. Adding that value, right? So we've missed you. Here's 15% off. It's been a while. We want you back. There will be dozens of these as examples. You can upsell a plan. There is a Shopify app called CPS where you can upsell an additional warranty if you want, that carries over to like a family member, right? Lifetime warranty, and you can add a value, $40, whatever your price is that you want to add to that. I can send over an introduction to CPS on that. But these are the types of things I would just consider, because if every day you create one new email, you improve an email, you do something with your email, you're going to get to the place where you have hundreds of touch points and then thousands of touch points. And it's all automatic, right? So every day that you're just going to start seeing those sales trickle in from those touch points. All right.